Close enough, I guess. Oh, jeez. What? There. There we go. Boom. Okay. Where did we leave off last time? We are looking, we can stop sharing that. Tonight we will have sprints number 5 and 6. Don't know how long that'll be. One of these days I'll get it started sooner. I always mean to have it happen closer to 10:30 and just never get around to it. What time will be. There we go. Okay. So at least my personal project, we left off last time at 1,154 words total. And because the first sprint, I ended up just working on the outline, it didn't take, or I didn't get any actual words written for the first draft. It was all just outlining stuff. So last sprints were for the first part of the outline. My particular story, and if anybody's in here, this is an epistolary tale. I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, it's the type of story that is told not through a particular character's point of view, so it's not like third person, first person. It's told through written media. So diary entries, letters, newspapers. This one is specifically going to be through a found diary. Oh, you know what? I've got to get my timer set up. So for anybody who's going to stay through here, oh, geez, put airplane mode so I don't get a bunch of notifications. What'll happen is I'm going to start the timer for 25 minutes and we will go to our sprint, get as many words as we can get. Once the timer goes off, 25 minutes runs out, we stop, check in, see how many words we've got, make a battle plan for sprint number 2, and then just dive on in. And we'll have a total of 50 minutes of writing done. And run the numbers at the end, and I see how many words I've written compared to last time, and what the running total is. And eventually, if we do enough of these together, we'll have completed stories. At least that's the plan, anyway. But let me get my timer set up and positioned so that it's not there we go. It's not just reflecting the computer screen right back. There. All right. 25 minutes on the clock and go, I guess. I think I have the fans figured out, so hopefully you're listening to me run my mouth and not the fan running in the other room. I shut the air conditioner off. It's cooled down. It was 80-something earlier today, but I don't know. It's not too hot right now. Anyway, we are at, 24 minutes, 30 seconds. Cheers. So I will mumble to myself throughout this, but for the most part, the sprint is just us independently working on our own projects. So we're on sprint 5. My entries here are diary entries in the story. So we're on entry 4, we're not sprint 4. Now, let me just take a quick second to see where I left off. Also writing in Notepad, because if I were to write like Microsoft Word or in Google Drive, I do, when I'm not live streaming, I do a lot more writing in Google Drive, but I'm not sure for cybersecurity purposes if I were to share the URL that I was writing in, if that is somebody couldn't steal my URL and go mess with my stuff. Not because I think I'm a good writer, but I just better if I don't have to worry about weird things like that. Yeah, maybe I should have reviewed first. Then I could have given everybody a better update and would have been better prepared to start the sprint actually writing. At some point, I'm going to have to come back through here when I go from the draft to draft number 2. One of the things I do plan on putting in here is to figure out how to name some of these siblings in a way that isn't just vomitous exposition. I don't know how many 20-something-year-old guys would write a diary and be like, yeah, my third brother, Thomas, who I very explicitly write his full name out just so that anyone who stumbles upon my diary is aware. So I don't know. The whole point of this is that this guy is third or fourth in line for any inheritance. Like, yeah, he lives on a farm. He's got a whole bunch of siblings, but he is not in a position to inherit anything. You know what I might need to figure out is if there's something, maybe I could get something put over here. So as I'm writing down here, it'll better explain what the sprint is. But entry 4, I think I want him to start off with having his mother whine at him. Now I can't remember the name of the dish. there's a word for it. It's like a, I don't know, it's not a dairy bowl, but it's a wide bowl. It's not terribly deep. It's vaguely gold pan shaped. So the whole idea is that he is sneaking off with one of his mother's good plates. I looked it up at one point when I was trying to outline all this, and I just cannot remember the name of the dish. Like, it was a good fit, was something that would have worked for gold panning. Not that it had the ridges, but it had the right shape. And I just cannot remember the name of it. I don't I don't have a name either, which that's something else I'm going to need to figure out. Is what in the world name all these siblings have? It's hard because, like, okay, I'm gonna write. I'm assuming it'll be a short story. Like, it'll be if this turns out to be a full length novel, it'll be absolutely ridiculous. But coming up with names for all of these short stories is like, oh my god, so many names. There. If I might check, what are we at? Looking 13 minutes to go. Yeah. Also, haven't really decided realistically how many diary entries do you get to tell a story. I mean, I figure, technically as many as it takes, but, entry 307 is going to be weird. Plus, we're on entry 5, and we are really just kind of barely setting the stage here. I swear that should be a word. That's what I thought. The definition from Oxford Languages Dictionary: copse, a small group of trees, similar to thicket, grove, wood. Oh boy. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and use it, even if they think it's spelled wrong. So the dictionary would work with Scrabble. Okay, apparent. Oh, yeah, ignore cops. Yeah, small cops. Bruh. Add a dictionary. Small cops. doing better? I can't. That doesn't sound right, but I felt right. Oh, here we go. All right. Entry time 6. Yes. Copy. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Entry 4, 5. Yeah, that's 6. Okay. Let me paste that into. Did it again. So the way I write it, my entries, and 6 is the most recent one on Notepad. But if we were to read this, we'd go top down. So entry 6 should be the bottom entry. We were actually going to read it. There we go. All right. We highlight where we are at. That is 476 words, which is almost exactly what we got for the first sprint last time. All right. Trying to think. So this is, when we get here, this is going to end up being the first, I don't know, not far from this. This is the farthest he's ventured exploring the stream. And I wanted, the time before, I wanted him to not quite be sure if he actually found anything or not. So it's just this tiniest little speck in the bottom of his gold pan. Like it, enough to keep him not inspired, enough to keep him motivated. Here we go. Enough to keep him motivated to keep looking. So like, man, there's this tiny little rock. Maybe there's a speck here. All this placer gold. Like, if I go farther upstream, maybe he'll find bigger and bigger pieces. And he's pretending he's fishing. That was his excuse to get upstream and not be bothered by his siblings or his parents. Now there's a time skip. He's not journaling every single day. Not yet, at least. When he sets off on his journey, his trip deeper into the wilderness, then he'll start a nightly journal. I just saw the chat was disabled. Why chat shouldn't be disabled? What happened here? Live chat, notices, playlists, audience. Okay, customization. Anybody? Message delay. Yeah, participants to wait between sending messages, live reactions, edit, community. That's strange. Have all of my chats been disabled? I don't feel like they were. Okay. Channel level settings. Default overlay, encoder. I don't have all that because I'm streaming straight with YouTube. So haven't figured out how to do that stuff yet. Pop out dashboard. What's that? Sprint 3, excellent, concurrent viewers, chat rate, views. Yeah, that's strange. Stream, share, studio dashboard. Huh. It says live. See, I don't want to end my stream, but I swear when it's done, there's a button on the top right here that's like, oh, take a break. Well, I don't see that. Hmm. Chat is disabled. I really don't understand why chat's disabled, but I don't have access to features. Expand the menu. Stream, webcam, manage, pop out. Yeah. Oh well. All right. Let's see. Mute. Stay here. Good. All right. So exploring the. I'm going to highlight here. I'm going to make it bold just because I want to know where to pick up when this next sprint is done, so that I get an accurate word count. Now I feel weird. I hope that the stream hasn't been like this the entire time, or I'm gonna feel really silly saying, "Hey, chat, go ahead and enter how many words you made in the sprint," just to find out none, because chat is come on. Why is it not there? Anyway, yeah, I just don't want it to be weirdly reflective. I'm sitting on my leg. My leg go numb. Cross my feet, sit on my other foot. I can't just. Is it gone? Okay, it is gone. really... That a real word. Won't let me write cops, but file. Been playing too much. Another term for vile. Huh. Okay. It is. Gonna keep that one in then. That's the other struggle with all this is how to communicate the setting through a journal, because he wouldn't go, "Oh, hi, mysterious people. Thank you for reading my medieval journal." But I feel like that's got to be an old enough word. I did not run into that word until I was playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And that is when you're doing the apothecary stuff, when you're making your potions and you pour it into the vial, you have to... That's how they spell it. That's where that word came from. But I feel like if I can sneak in stuff like this, it will pull us into I gotta start speaking with my left hand. It'll pull us into an older feeling setting, because this is, yeah, it's medieval, but not exactly. Like, this isn't medieval Europe. It's loosely inspired by around the 1500s. So I guess technically that's the 16th century. Yeah, right. Give or take 100 or 200 years or so. So really 13 through almost 1700. But the setting, we're not, it's not a medieval Europe setting. I haven't fully defined it, but this isn't a traditional medieval Europe. Not that the story has had any reason to communicate that yet, but yeah, so anybody out there knows that's not what we're doing. Anyway. Come on. I don't know if the camera keeps picking it up, but there's a... Now that it's landed on the wall over there. That might not be a fly. That might be a mosquito. That would be my luck. Live stream mosquito biting me on the forehead. That sounds like something that I would do. What are we doing on time here? 13 minutes? I should just stop yapping and get to typing. Yeah. Swallow wrong. Choke on Mountain Dew in front of everybody. Story of my life. There we go. All right, now it's going to get me there. I have some more words, but I need need to think of a way to escalate it. I've got to get him pushing deeper into the woods. I've got to get him to mentally decide if he's going to find what he's looking for. He needs to go deeper into the forest, and he needs to go overnight. Sneaking away in between chores, like, it just is not. Actually, that's probably... Get that. Yeah, that's a mosquito. Come on. Get it? I can't tell. Don't see it anymore, at least. All right. I am going to steal this for my word count, though. Because what I can do... Time exploring the water. There we go. So time exploring. So waters is where I got to pick this up. I can highlight that, and that will, when we come back to get my word count, it'll already be pre-pasted into my Google Doc. 37. Also, going to need to figure out a calendar to use. I know just vaguely we are in sort of summertime, but I need some kind of an entry here. I haven't figured out if we're using like what calendar, right? Is it August? Does it make sense to have a medieval whatever setting and be like, yeah, it's September? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't. It doesn't feel right in the setting, but at the same time, I have no reason to use anything else. Because I mean, if I'm not connected to medieval Europe in any way, shape, or form, like where would they be getting that calendar from? And I haven't really defined where exactly we are yet. My foot is falling asleep. All right, but problems for another day. Let's get this draft going. 7. What is... What are we doing? We're not going to get much this time. Come on. Let's get some more. I don't feel much larger in size. What did they have for dinner? Why am I drawing a blank? What is... It's this time of year. What's in my own garden? Yeah. There we go. All right. Now we'll stop there. You know, close enough. All right. Now, we'll see where that was. 7. Got that. Need. So that's going to give me entry 7, which I still need. Needs to. Yeah, because this entry isn't done yet. We'll pick up here. There we go. But he'll need to go overnight if he's going to. Oh, entry 7. There we go. I don't want to. Yeah, I'll need to cut it. I'll shave off a few words because, like, these notes, those 6 words there shouldn't count for the total word count. Let's see where we're gonna go here. Gonna paste that in. Then we can highlight this. And we have 400. 19 words. Let's just call that 410, because 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Okay, maybe that's not enough. Let's call that, what did I say, 419 minus 12, 407. All right, so now what are we looking at? That's going to give us, doing math in front of people again, 3, 8, 883. Maybe. Let's go to my calculator and see what we're at. 476 plus 407, 883. Got it. So that's going to give us 800 plus 1154. Gonna equal, I'm not even gonna pretend to do this one in my head. 83 plus 1,154 is gonna bring us to a total of 2,037 total words to round this sprint out. So is that good? I don't know. We are working through our first rough draft. And I will worry about editing in revisions after, but I can't do that until I have a full rough draft recorded. So you gotta get that far, but it's gonna be another hour and 5 minutes, really. Which should be 3 hours, 26 minutes total. You know what? These streams, 8, 12. This one was 8, 11. I'm going to have to look this one up. It would have been 8. Yeah, it was 3 or 4 days before that. But anyway, 3 hours, 26 minutes worth of time to have 2,037 words. And I can't even begin to guess how far into the story we actually are. Now, one of the things that I do here is I'm not setting out to, this has to be a novel. This is going to be a novelette. This is a short story. I'm communicating an idea, a concept I've had bouncing around in my head. So this is it is. However long it takes to share that is however long that will take. I will see if I can figure out. I don't understand why chat is disabled. I feel like I don't feel like I've read that before. So maybe there's no comments because it's disabled. Not specifically because nobody's here with me and I'm talking to myself. Let's see. But for anyone that is here, I'm sorry we can't chat. I hope you got a lot of words in your work in progress. I don't know when the next one will be. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later in the week. I don't know. But good luck, good writing. I'm going to get ready for bed soon. Thank you for spending some time with me. I appreciate it. Have a good night.